Hello friends, I am Dr. Lokesh Desai, and in this video we are going to discuss how to compute Kruskal Wallis H test in SPSS. So let us understand what is the purpose of Kruskal Wallis H test. This is a non-parametric test. It is substitute of the one-way ANOVA and used when population is not normally distributed. Then apply Kruskal Wallis H test instead of one-way ANOVA. The test is used to compare several groups of populations in a completely randomized design experiment. Sums of rank of a K-sample are used to compare population groups. The observations are required to convert into rank orders instead of scale or continuous for computing this test. Now, what are the steps in SPSS to execute Kruskal-Wallis H test? First of all, you have to make a data entry in SPSS according to the survey data or the problem statement, developing null and alternative hypothesis, selecting the variables dependent variable and independent variable. Your dependent variable must be in continuous scale or rank order scale, whereas your independent variable must be nominal scale having a distinct categories. And the important point is that your dependent variable is not required to be normal distributed. Select K independent sample in a non-parametric test option, taking a decision based on p-value, interpreting the output and reporting the final results. Now we are going to open the retail.sav file to understand this test. And what is the problem which we are going to discuss is using the dataset retail.sav, examine whether the distance covered by customer to reach the departmental store differs across different categories of the occupation. Apply an appropriate non-parametric statistical test at a 5% level of significance to determine whether the distance traveled by customers is significantly the same or different among various occupational groups. So in this case, we are having two variables. The dependent variable is distance covered to reach in the departmental store, and the independent variable is different occupational groups. So now we open the SPSS datasheet to examine this. This is retail.sav in which occupation is having a five different categories: business class, government employees, private employees, students, and housewife category. And distance covered to reach in the departmental store is based on continuous scale or the ratio scale. You can see in the data set. So now we are going to execute this one. These are this is a variable view and this is a data view. And we have to design the null and alternative hypothesis. So H node null hypothesis in this case, the distance covered by customers to reach the departmental store is the same across different occupational categories. Alternative hypothesis H1, the distance covered by customers to reach the departmental store is different across different occupational categories. And now we are going to execute in SPSS by using this data sheet. Go for analyze, non-parametric test, legacy dialog. Now in the legacy dialog you can have a number of non-parametric tests, so in which we have to select the K independent sample. Why we are going to select the K independent sample? Because in our independent variable there are more than two categories, so different five categories are there, so we have to select the K independent samples as a non-parametric test. Select this one. So test variable is distance. So distance, select and transfer it into the test variable list, and grouping variable is occupation. Select occupation, transfer it, and the software is asking define its range. So because it is having five different categories, business class to housewife, so the minimum group is 1 and the maximum number of groups are 5. Continue. By default it is Kruskal Wallis H already select, so press OK and you can find a results in a output viewer window in which two tables are there. The first one is ranks and second one is test statistics of Kruskal Wallis H. So now we interpret this one. These are the various steps which we have already used, and so now the total number of customer is 120 belonging to the different occupational groups. So N represents total 120. The mean rank of a distance is highest for the housewife. 68.57, followed by private employee 62.48, student 59.91, business 59.53, government employee 54.23. It means the calculation of a Kruskal-Wallis H test is based on the mean rank. It means the software arrange all the continuous data into a different ranks, and then it calculates the mean rank. The Kruskal-Wallis H value is 1.690, where the degrees of freedom is 4, and the significance value p value comes 0.793. So now what is the decision rule? Decision rule is, since the p-value is greater than 0.05, the null hypothesis is accepted and the alternative hypothesis is rejected. So the conclusion is, there is no statistically significant difference in the distance covered by customers to reach the departmental store among different occupational groups. So that is a conclusion and decision based on Kruskal-Wallis H test. So friends, when your data is not normally distributed, you are not required to apply one way ANOVA. You are required to apply the Kruskal-Wallis H test, that is based on the calculation, that is based on computing the rank score of a continuous variable. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you understood this execution process and interpretation. So kindly subscribe the video for the next series. Thank you so much.